Yo, I get a lot of people that's fresh to getting a CDL, about to get out of school, and one of the questions they ask me is, what company should I go with? I just want to drop a little video to get people who got some questions about what job they should take and all that good stuff. A little free game. They say never. I say never tell me what to do. A person will never put you in a position above them. That's never a lie, always true. Success never comes without risk, and risk never comes without fear. YouTube is a smoke and mirror, never how it appear. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ice Water 815, man. Come back at you with another video. This for my newbies, man. The people out there that's just getting their CDL, finna get out of school. I just want to drop a few things that I would do if I was just graduating from school with my CDL and was thinking about going over the road. I mean, I guess you got to decide whether or not you're going to go over the road or whether you're going to try to do local. So this is more so for the people who decide to go over the road. The first thing I would do before I apply to any company, well, I think when I was in school, I might ask the school if they allow students who graduate to come back and practice, just in case I didn't get no job right away and I wanted to like keep fresh up on my skills and whatnot. But moving on from the whole school thing, before I apply for any job, the very first thing that I would do is I would go out and get me a prepaid cell phone. I know. You want to know why I would do that? Well, we'll touch on that a little bit later in the video, but I would just I would narrow it down to some companies who had a terminal within 2 hours of where I lived at, especially if I was going with a mega company. And the reason for that is when I take home time, I don't want to be responsible for taking the truck home and X, Y, and Z. And I kind of think that cut into your home time a little bit. I mean, I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. But me personally, I would look for a company that had a terminal within 2 hours of where I lived at. Secondly, once I decided on a couple companies, I would go on YouTube and I would try to find some people from that company who make YouTube videos and who have a referral code in their description or like a recruiter for that company. And I would reach out to them and I would ask them all the questions I could possibly think of. I would tell them that I'm thinking about signing up under them and I want to know this about the company, that about the company. I think they're going to be pretty honest with you because they want the referral. Well, they might lie to you, but I think you got to work there for a certain amount of time for them to actually get the referral. So I kind of think they're going to tell you the truth, but we got some other checks and balances in place. So don't worry about that. But I definitely would get in contact with I would probably, in one company, I would probably get in contact with three different people who have referral codes, and I would give them the same script and ask them the same questions and see if their answers are consistent across the board. The next thing I would check is when I talk to the recruiter, this is a very important question. Like, you're gonna see YouTube videos, but all the other questions, like the general questions about how much per mile and all this and all that, and how is home time, and outside of how much per mile, you're probably gonna get a lie anyway. So moving on from that, I think the most important question you could ask a recruiter is simply, I think it's two. One being, you need to ask the recruiter, what is the 1 year retention rate? You got to ask the recruiter that. You got to see how many people stay there after 1 year. That's going to tell you a lot about the company. The next thing you probably want to ask the recruiter is, what's the average paycheck weekly? Or you could ask them I will stick with going with weekly because you might not even make it a whole year. So the yearly pay ain't going to really matter. Now let's get to why I said get a prepaid cell phone. If I was going to a mega company fresh out of school, I would use the prepaid cell phone to apply. I would give them that number. I wouldn't give them my personal phone number, and here's why. After I complete my orientation, after I complete my training with the driver, whatever that is, and I get into my own truck, I'm cutting that prepaid phone completely off. I'm not talking to this company on a cell phone, period. I want everything to come through the Qualcomm. Why you say that, Ice? I'm glad you asked. I want documentation of everything that's said. And if I allow them to start calling me on my cell phone, then I open up myself for like a whole bunch of he say, she say about this, or the dispatcher, fleet manager, or whatever they call. I'm not even sure what they call. Said this, said that. No, I ain't finna get into all that lip boxing. We gonna do all our communications through the Qualcomm. I'm going to put in my home time well enough in advance, and I'm also going to put it in a day early. That's going to be important when you're putting in your home time. Even if it means you got to cut it early, you got to leave out earlier than you want to, put it in a day early, man. Trust me on this. Another thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to end this, I don't want to make this too long. It's a whole bunch of videos with other stuff you can check out. These are just some things that I think them other videos missing, so this is just a supplement. If I was new to trucking and like just freshly got my CDLs, I would, when me and my trainer that I went out with at the very beginning, when we were pre-planning, I would ask him, what time we gonna stop for fuel and X, Y, and Z. And I would set my alarm clock for like 5 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes before we were about to stop in case I was sleeping. Because I want to get up and I want to pay attention to how he navigates the truck stop as far as getting fuel, as far as parking for showers, all that. Because most CDL schools, from what I've been told, I don't know this to be all that true. I didn't go to CDL school. Most of them don't take you into a truck stop, and you can get a lot of valuable experience about maneuvering, about parking, about everything you need to do if you pay attention to your trainer when y'all go into the truck stop, because he already has the experience. If you watch what he do and ask questions on why he's doing certain things, especially if you don't understand, you'll get a lot of training pulling into a truck stop and leaving a truck stop. It'll be very similar to pulling into a business that you're not familiar with, X, Y, and Z. Hey, look, this is your boy Icewater 815, man. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, form, or fashion, consider subscribing, consider liking it, consider sharing it. I'll see you on the next video, YouTube. Y'all be safe.
Been through a lot of pain in my life, and I pray the Lord take it all away.